Hey, Aditi, how are you?
Hey, Donna, I am fabulous. Good to see you.
Oh, and it's always wonderful to see you. So, Aditi and I today have come together. She's at a loss to what we're going to talk about
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
because I want her full reaction when I tell her this story. So, let's go into our background a little bit, Aditi.
Okay.
Aditi and I have known each other probably now almost 6 years.
Yes. Yeah, six. Actually yeah, six going on seven.
Going on
Yes.
7. We met
Yep.
at the Vibrant Health Institute that my brother was managing at the time, and I started working there. And Aditi has seen me grow and evolve over these last 6 or 7 years. Aditi has
Yes.
also been with me in many of my events with what we used to call the Magic Dictionary. I now call the Spirit Dictionary.
Mhm.
Were you with me when I picked up this one at VHI?
That happened just before I came there.
So this one was picked up because it was on the shelf and Spirit kept throwing things off the shelf in that big room. And then one day I sent somebody over to that area to grab something and I noticed there's a book on that shelf and it was not a bookshelf. And I pulled it off and it says the secretary's desk book. And I said, oh, this isn't a dictionary. But lo and behold, in the middle is a
Is the
dictionary.
dictionary.
So we use this often, Aditi.
Yes.
Obviously, that's what we're going to talk about today. But what has been your experience with the Spirit Dictionary?
Okay. So I find it extremely interesting how spirit leads you to just the right word that you need to hear. I'll bring, do you want me to bring it right into today?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, so I'll bring it right into today. And excuse me if I get a bit tearful as I speak. Today is my father's heavenly birthday. And I, always review on this day of like I always wonder, what does he look like? And sometimes that brings a little bit of a tear to my eye, a little bit of sadness, but then in a sense, it brought this immense amount of joy. And just, in celebrating his day, and what a beautiful day. And um, then I just kind of went on about my day, and then I get a message from you about your word of the day, because I hadn't engaged online at all yet today, to find out that today's heartfelt. That was just so synchronistic, and that's usually how it always goes, is just the synchronicity of it. Um, there's with you finding the red dictionary, after meeting up with you at VHI and realizing that I had one of the same copies of a dictionary that you had. And I'm like, no, I can't, that's Donna's thing. Like, I can't do that. And so then I start picking up my dictionary, and once in a while on a daily basis. And again, it's just so synchronistic every time. Um, Many events that we've done with with the Spirit Dictionary that have just been absolutely amazing. It bringing it back into you doing them every day now. I feel like that's, sharing an intention in a sense, that people can set daily, um, and just to bring in a better connection with spirit, because it gives you a word that to start your morning off with. And is what I found is sometimes, you feel it when you hear the word, and then even going throughout the day, you're like, oh, you can't make that up. like, there's the word, there's the word, there's the word. And then it just gives you that vibrational feeling that you can follow all day.
That's a perfect word, the vibration of that word. And I like about Aditi, what I love about Aditi is because of her, I think when we started this at the Institute, we started doing this with guests at the Institute, that everybody was so there for a different sort of reason, whether it was spiritual, psychological, emotional, or personal growth. But after I gave spirit's interpretation, everybody gave their interpretation.
Yes,
You
that was
remember?
good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that was fun. And we've even done that too on, some of the videos that we've done in the past of, you would give the interpretation, spirit would come through with the interpretation, and then I would kind of, go off from that too. So yeah, it is interesting too, how everybody has their own interpretation or their own connection, their own vibration with the word.
Yep.
So I just think it's quick, it's fun, it's easy, and it's a way to connect with spirit. So it's awesome.
Quick and fun is the word of the day for me. Just quick. I love quick. So as Aditi mentioned, I do these every morning now on my social media platforms of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Here on YouTube, you'll find these shorts, and I keep it to 60 seconds. I do it first thing in the morning. It gets me up in the morning, and it brings me so much joy. And there have been other times in my life where, just like Aditi, I would just pull it because something new is happening in my life and I really don't feel what I feel about it. So I said, let me check in with the Spirit Dictionary. So that background is going to lead into why Aditi and I are here today and why I have not shared yet what happened to me the other day. But let's talk about that beautiful image behind you there, Aditi. That is done by a good friend, a mutual friend of ours, Michele, who has, I will put it in the notes below, and I will, if this is Instagram, I'll link, what do you call it? I will put her handle down there also.
Yeah,
She does sell her art.
Link.
She does sell her art. Aditi happens to have a very large one there behind her, but it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Her work is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, it's amazing.
Shout out to Michele, and
yes,
we'll get in touch. We'll get you somehow in touch with her if that interests you. Okay, are you ready, Aditi?
I am so ready. I've been anxiously awaiting since you told me that we were going to do this video
a few days ago. And
yes.
Then in between, so much has happened that Aditi and I are like, I think we have to do another video about that. And I'm like, I need to do the video about this first.
Right. Yeah. I think we have like, what, 5-10 videos, something like that.
You got to do that.
Yeah. So stay tuned in.
Stay tuned. Thank you. So Aditi and I have been talking. We have a lot of emotional connection. Aditi is the one because we've been together for so long, because we've seen each other's growth, up, down, good, bad, right or wrong, doesn't matter. And we've had our moments where we haven't spoken in months. And then we come back and it's like nothing's ever happened. And
right.
There's Aditi, there's Donna. So she understands me and I understand her.
Yes, through and through.
So we've been having a couple emotional days that she mentioned. There's been some extra sadness going on in the world. I went to a funeral yesterday, caused some extra sadness. And Donna, the medium, can't get caught up in a lot of that because I do what I do. I put off this love vibration and I have to stay centered in that. And I don't like the word grounded, but I have to stay in that.
Yes.
So the other day I'm cooking at my stove here and I'm getting frustrated because I started doing this new thing as Donna Boyle medium and I don't know where it's going. And I kept thinking, I'm here, but why am I here? Why am I doing this now? What is your purpose, Spirit, for having me now put this new thing on my platform? Why are you doing this? Why did you put me here? I was saying this out loud. So I'm cooking whatever I'm cooking and I'm going, I need something big. I wasn't yelling at them, but I was making a big statement. I said,
Right.
I need something big. Why am I here? Why did you put me here? Why not just here where I'm living, but here in this new phase, this new promotion of my work as a spiritual medium? And I said that. I said that. Thinking, Donna, I don't know how it's going to play itself out, but I spent a good 5 minutes just stating out loud, like, I'm pretty sure I got loud because my music was loud. So I'm pretty sure I had to get louder than my music,
Right.
asking the question, why did you put me here? And I'm stirring and I'm looking up at the universe. We've all had those moments, have we not, Aditi?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And we expect an answer, whether it comes that moment, the next day, the next week, or even the next year. We don't know that, right? We don't know when the answer will come, but we know
Correct.
to ask the question. So I asked the question, finish cooking, put it off to cool. And I immediately walk into my area here where my desk is, and my head gets turned to
The Spirit Dictionary.
the big one, though.
Yes.
In the
That's the
big
one I
one.
have.
Yeah, that's the one you have.
Yes.
I can't use this one on my word of the day because I have to hold it and spin it at the same time, and I want to be on camera. So I rarely use this one. It sits at the chair beside my desk. But Spirit said, let's pull a word. So I said, let's pull a word. So I remembered my rant about a few moments before, and I said, I want to know why I'm here. So I pick it up. I start spinning the pages. Spirit draws me to the page, draws me to the word. Now, I just want you, everybody watching this, just to watch Aditi's face. She's not going to be able to say anything yet because I need to tell the full story first. So sometimes in a definition, the definition, right, Adit's is very long.
Yes.
Right? Big definition. But I only use where my finger lands. If I land in the middle of a definition, I don't read the whole definition. I read the word and I read where my finger lands. Well, this is a pretty good sized definition. So I read where my, because when I read the word, I went, what the hell is Spirit talking about? The word is prick, P-R-I-C-K, prick. And I'm in,
Lovely.
Donna gets in her head and goes, seriously, Spirit? But I'm looking where my finger is. And I'm like, where is this going to go? And I read, are you ready?
Yes.
The definition is number 6. It's the 6th definition in this larger definition. To remove, in parentheses, a young seedling from the seed bed to another suitable for further growth.
Ooh.
To remove from the seed bed to another suitable for further growth. I answered that question. Spirit answered that question. Why am I here? We removed you from what was comfortable in that little seed bed that you were in. We removed you to another place suitable for further growth. Huh. Tears. I'm like, holy crap, you can't make this
shit up.
They answered my question of why did you put me here? For further growth. They had to move me for further growth. So the first thing I thought of, Aditi's going to go into this big time in a moment. I immediately think of a goldfish. In a goldfish bowl, if you put a goldfish in a small bowl, it won't grow. It'll only grow to the size of the surrounding area. If you put that goldfish in a larger bowl, it will grow larger. So it doesn't, the synchronicity doesn't end there. About an hour later, I'm watching Ted Lasso. Has anybody watched Ted Lasso yet?
No.
If you haven't, you have to. It is a fabulous TV series. Anyway, he talks about goldfish. I'm like, well, that's interesting. He talks about goldfish have a 10-second memory, maybe a 5-second memory. So whatever happens to them, they immediately forget it in 5 seconds. What? Wouldn't that be great? So now I'm confirming all these thoughts in my head. And I'm just watching, really getting into the video and the show I'm watching. And I get the thought, I need to get in touch with Aditi. she is the one that it's going to really bring this one home. I've got to tell her, because she's the one, Aditi is the one that I've always gone to when these humongous moments have happened. But we haven't really talked in a while, talked really verbally in a while. We've texted. And it was a weekend, and I know, Donna knows that Aditi spends a lot of time with her family and her partner on that weekend. So I said, oh, I can't call Aditi today. Oh, I want to call Aditi, but I know she's busy. I'm thinking about that, and I look again at the Spirit Dictionary, and I'm like, frick. Immediately on TV, one of the characters in Ted Lasso says, you know, he's a pretty prickly character.
Ooh.
Though that's the way the synchronicities just pile on, pile them on. So, Aditi, what do you think about prick?
Oh, well, okay, so a couple things. I mean, first, saying that word, it's I know the context I've used it in the past, which probably I would say isn't so nice. You know, because typically when I'll back up for a second. Typically, when you say the word, like, my mind instantly starts, you know, putting that together in different contexts. And so it went from that to like kind of like a poking, maybe, like, you know, pricking at somebody. And then it kind of came around to kind of is what you do as a medium, is, you know, that you help support, you know, people from where their seed bed is to, you know, interpret the spirit and get them to further their growth. And then hearing the definition and feeling that, and knowing some of the conversations we've had the past few days, it's super exciting. Spirit has something big, I feel, coming up for you for sure. And, you know, coming up for you to share with us. So I almost feel, you know, the words a lot of times are, you know, strictly for us, but there's also that intertwining of connecting, you know, people with the word. And we, you know, pretty much found that out when we were at VHI and had people interpret the definition. And so I feel like it's going to further growth for you and for us that are in vibrational connection, that are listening to what you're saying and feeling what you're saying vibrationally. So I'm excited.
This is exactly why I needed to tell Aditi, because what he said, I didn't even fathom, because I'm just thinking about, they answered my question, standing at the stove. Why did you put me? We removed you from where you were, Donna. We do not want you to get comfortable in that little seed bed. We need to move you into the bigger seed bed for your own growth. But then Aditi just says, Donna, that's what you do as a medium. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I make people uncomfortable during a reading a lot.
Oh. From time to time, I do agree with that.
Well, because what am I doing? I'm pricking them out of their old seed bed, their small seed bed, and putting them into a place for further growth. They don't have to do what Spirit has told them during that reading, right? There's always choices. But you're right, Aditi. You see, this is why I needed you.
Yes.
I didn't, even after 3 days have gone by, probably more, it's probably been 4 or 5 days, it didn't even hit me that they were also talking about what I do.
Yeah.
Not just Donna and her personal and spiritual growth, but stop getting frustrated with where you are. You were put there. You were put there. You were put there.
Absolutely. And that will be one of our upcoming videos. That will come up again soon.
I didn't think prick. I don't even know I don't even know why that word means that, to remove a young seedling. We're young seedlings. We come into
Yeah,
this earth. We come onto this earth as a young seedling.
absolutely.
Our soul's grown. Our soul is expanded already. But
Yeah,
we as a human, to remove a young seedling from the seedbed to another suitable for further growth. But I had to think about it, right? I had to think prick it, like cricket meaning pick it up, prick.
yeah,
But all your other definitions, they're in there. But that was
yeah.
number 6. Number 6 was that.
So when you were talking about, what had happened, the other thing that came to mind too of, asking spirit, and how that unfolds, once you ask a question, as long as you're open and paying attention, those answers line up. A lot of times it doesn't, manifest as quickly as that. But sometimes it does, we get our answers almost instantaneously.
Yeah, if you're listening, like you
If you're listening, yes.
and that vibration is
Yeah.
there. But yeah, and to your point, people do this. Aditi said she does it with her dictionary. Somebody commented on one of my posts, they do that with their Bible.
Oh, good.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing. You're asking the question and allowing for spirit to speak to you, God to speak to you, the universe to speak to you in a way that you can interpret, because now you're forced out of your head. You're not, when I asked that question at the stove, I didn't answer it because I don't have the answer. I don't know why I'm here. I can't see the future. As a medium, no one's going to tell me my own future. They have, and I didn't like it because it hasn't happened yet. Like she said, like Aditi said, the answer may not come right away.
Right.
May not come right away. But that very same day, the day before, I think, or that day, my brother and I were talking on the phone. He lives in the same town I do. We're talking on the phone, and somehow we started talking about cereal, like the breakfast cereal. And I'm like, I love cereal. I used to love a good bowl of cereal, either in the morning. Now I don't really eat that big in the morning, but sometimes at night, that was my treat, a good bowl of cereal. But I don't like anything about what they put in cereals right now. And there is not a cereal on the market that does not have some form of sugar in it.
Correct.
Even the low glycemic sugar. So I remember one time about 4 years ago, I'm walking through a cereal aisle and the guy who works there comes up and he said, "Can I help you with anything, ma'am?" And I started crying. I started tearing up and he's like, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I just want a cereal without sugar." Which years ago. But we don't have that. And I said, I know.
Yeah.
And there is one brand out there, but it's horrible. It tastes like cardboard. So my brother and I are talking about this. We're actually talking this conversation on the phone. The next day, he drops off something downstairs in my apartment. Now I'm thinking, did he have this when he was talking to me? I don't know. He drops off a couple things for me. So I go outside and I'm seeing a little care package from my brother. And in it was a box of cereal with no sugar.
Woo.
And it was raisins, but no sugar. And I said, this can't be, it's got to have honey. It's got to have monk fruit, something in it. And you look at and there's nothing.
Wow.
There's no added sugar. It's only the fruit of the raisins.
Yay.
So I call my brother and I'm like, we just had this conversation yesterday. He's like, yeah, I found it. But because I never go through the grocery aisle, I never go through the cereal aisle anymore because it depresses me.
Right.
I love a bowl of cereal.
That's awesome.
The next day, spirit manifested cereal.
Yes. Thank you.
Sugar-free cereal. And it's
just
good.
What I asked for.
It's good. Yeah. What? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know whether it's the trail. I like to say now we're following the trail that we've set for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the trail. If it was going to happen, I always get caught up on this. If it was going to happen anyway, and I just was in that vibration, so I'm talking about it the day before, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Or if I made it happen. So there are many different schools of thought. I like to think everything is happening just the way it was meant to happen, regardless. Regardless, you can't change it. However,
Right.
if you're in the vibration of I'm following my trail and I'm on it, that you're going to talk about it or ask for it moments
Yes.
before or a day before. So you didn't make it happen. You were in the vibration of it's going to happen in a moment or two. Now I'm thinking
Yes.
about it. That as I speak it out, this is what Aditi's so good for. As I talk about it now, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
It does. It makes absolute perfect sense. And even if you're thinking about somebody that that you want to call, and all of a sudden they call, or you're, just random thoughts that pop in your head, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, right there it is. I
Yep.
love that.
Yep. So you were in that vibration of it already.
Yes.
And that person was going to call. You didn't
Yeah.
make that person call. That
Right.
person was going to call, and you just felt it beforehand.
Yeah.
You were
And that's what I call, being on the right path, or like you said, the right trail,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm doing good. This is where I'm supposed to be right now. All right.
Exactly.
Thank
Exactly.
you for that confirmation. I love it.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I've had so many instant manifestations over the last few months that it doesn't amaze me anymore, but I'm still, ow,
Yeah.
ow.
It's mind blowing sometimes. Really. It's like, you speak something and then all of a sudden it's right there, or, all of those types of things are happening so quickly right now. Just as you said, it's all accelerated. And
See, she brought it
so
back.
many people are feeling that acceleration.
Accelerated. Yeah, if you haven't seen my last video, there's one on the 2022, what happened over the last couple of weeks about 2022 being accelerated now. And we need to run or just follow everybody else, but whatever, it's going to be fast.
Mm-hmm.
And to accept the quickness of it.
Yes.
So when I read this word, okay, you put me here for further growth. I love that. Now, I just love it. Now it's like, I can't wait to see what further growth means.
You're right. Yes. Lots of good things coming.
And
I'm feeling
okay
it.
to get frustrated, right? It's okay to get frustrated
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
things that aren't going the way you plan. But why do you think they aren't going the way you plan?
Because they're not supposed to happen.
That's not what's meant to happen. So being present with what is in your moment, in that moment.
Yes.
I know Aditi and I both have kids, one kid, and are they the same age? Carly's 31. How old's Nate?
Nate just turned 30.
Just turned 30. So they're about the
Yeah.
same age. And, we're always giving them all these wonderful things, but then we say, look, they're 30. Let them make their own freaking mistakes. But we can't. We have to say our opinion. And my daughter the other day is just going on about all this. And I'm like, do you know what's going to happen tomorrow? She's like, no. Then why are you frustrated over today? I'm like, I could die tomorrow, honey. And that will totally change your entire path, won't it? She's like, yeah, that would change everything.
Yeah.
But now you're stressing over this that may not even be in your reality tomorrow.
Yep.
So my mother just came through a bit ago too. I showed you that card. We talked about that card, spirit card.
Yes.
I just find that so heartfelt that your dad today and my mom today.
Oh, yes. That's good stuff.
It's not like I don't talk about my mother. I talk about her and talk to her all the time. But today I picked up one of her spirit cards that I have of hers, and she showed
So
me
beautiful.
Yeah, she showed me something. Aditi, you're so beautiful. I can't thank you enough for joining.
Oh, you as well, Donna. Thank you. It's always good to do these videos. They're fun. Just being real and authentic and being us.
And so Aditi and I, when was that? 2020. Aditi and I were pandemicked together.
Yes.
Beginning of this, and we did a few videos, so they're here on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen them, we're pretty funny. We are funny.
Yeah. Yes.
So I miss you loads. I wish you were closer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to end today this little tidbit of information. Don't forget to subscribe to All I Have and All I Am, and we'll see how being pricked out of my old seed bed allows for more growth.
Yes.
Right, Deeds? I love you.
Okay. Love you too. Mwah. Talk soon.